Okay. Here we go, Mac. Come on, baby.
With the 15th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the six-time world champion New England Patriots.
Let them hear it.
Select Mac Jones.
We just drafted the quarterback in the first round. That's unbelievable.
I'll finish this
Wow.
for a quarterback.
Oh my lord.
All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining the live. I don't know what else to say, but we got Mac Jones. We got our quarterback. There's no intro that needs any introduction but that. We got him. You saw our reactions. You saw us get excited, and there's so much to talk about and whatever through this first day of the draft. So let's get to it. Jacob, I know you want to take it from here, and maybe if you want to explain kind of the situation we're doing too.
Yes. I'll explain the calls in 1 second. I just want to give you my open take.
All right, go for it.
As
Mac boy.
Yeah, so well before we made this pick, I was a Mac Jones guy. I wanted him. I think he's going to be a good player, and a lot like you guys, not you. I'm talking about the viewers. I wanted Justin Fields as well. As we saw him dropping, I was hoping and praying we either trade up or he falls to 15. I know we all wanted that. That didn't happen, but make no mistake. Mac Jones is a good quarterback. He is accurate, good footwork, great on timing routes. He can run the Brady offense. I think this is a good pick, and I think he's going to be a good player.
He's the seventh Alabama player to be taken by New England since 2010, and the 11th player to be coached under Nick Saban to be taken by the Patriots in the Belichick era. So my guess is it's not even going to be done. I feel like we're going to take another Alabama player. This is just another one. Whether it's Christian Barmore, whether it's Dylan Moses, whether it's any other ones that I don't know the names of, I wouldn't be surprised if we only ended up with one Alabama player.
I'm just going to go and say this right now. I think the Patriots got the best fit in the first round of the draft. I mean, you look at how similar these two offenses run, Alabama and obviously New England, and then you look back at the tape and the way Alabama runs their offenses with swing routes and motions and everything like that, they're very similar. And watching Mac Jones's conference after the draft, he just said how much he wanted to be in New England. And he was trying to hide it, but he just couldn't. And then when he got out on stage, obviously you saw his reaction. So I just say it's an A+ pick, and they didn't even have to move up and get him. So
Matt's camera is off, by the way, so you can't see him. Yes. That's why. So if you
just
hear
a black screen today.
Yeah, voice with no lips moving. That's Matt. Jake, what's your take?
You want to do that, and then we can get some calls.
So I'm in the same boat as Jacob, I think. Obviously, I want.
Oh, are you? Oh,
really?
Okay, with that.
Jeez, man.
I'm the Ohio State fan. I wanted Justin Fields, but I'm not disappointed at the result getting Mac Jones because, as Matt was saying, he's a great pick, and we know Bill loves accuracy, and Mac Jones is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this class. So he's just going to be an all-around good fit for us here, no doubt.
Right. I'll give my thoughts.
Sorry.
It's just an exciting pick, and I like exciting. It gives us something to talk about, and it gives us a lot more than an offensive tackle would have, which is a very casual take to make, but it's really nice in an off season where Belichick has been very uncharacteristic to watch him do it in the first round and take the first quarterback he's ever taken in the first round and watch it all transpire and have this off season that gives us a lot of future to then cap it off, or at least maybe it's the beginning of something really, really exciting for the Patriots. So
first quarterback taken on day one since 1993, and that was Drew Bledsoe. So
it's awesome. It's super exciting.
Very rare company for.
We finally shut up everybody who thinks that we still need a quarterback. So
I mean, we still do. I'm fine with taking another one.
Yeah, well, I want all of them.
We need a new backup.
Kellen on tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over the call. So we are taking calls in this.
This was their guy too.
But in order to call, go to the link in all of our bios. There is a link. It's going to direct you to a page. If you're on your phone, you need to get. Well, you don't have to. If you're on an iPhone, you can get the iOS app. It will work a lot smoother. You can use a browser if you want, but it won't work. That will not work on an Android. So you get that link. You put in your name. You will be in a waiting room, and we will pop you in. You can give us a couple thoughts, and then we'll send you on your merry way. And and that's just basically how it is. How we're gonna do it. So go to the link in all of our bios. In my bio, everyone's bio.
It's in my bio too.
While we wait for people to start doing that, I want to. Jake just said they got their guy. That's something that I really wanted to touch on before I forget. Is a lot. This will be compared to Justin Fields a lot. That is going to be kind of the quarterbacks that are going to be grouped together. People will make the argument they could have made the move for Justin Fields and they didn't. And I think by doing that, they prove that between the two, if they were both there, they would have taken Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is
Absolutely.
their guy. All the time that we have spent talking about the quarterback situation, there's only one thing that I think collectively we've all agreed on, and it's just get the guy you feel most confident about, and that seems to be Mac Jones. So if you can't get behind Mac Jones, get behind it because that's the guy that they chose to be their quarterback.
Pe- People don't understand that. They thought that Jones was like we missed out on Fields, we're taking Jones because we need a QB type thing. No, this is who they wanted. This is who they were going to go at 15 if they were both there. And yeah, and like you said, they didn't even have to move up to get him. That's the best part about it.
Right.
Yeah, you look at what the
They didn't
Bears
have to
gave
give
up.
any
Like, I don't know if you guys would have took that deal, but would you have offered the same thing
QB
for
type
Fields?
thing. No, this is who
Eh,
they
I don't know.
No.
wanted. This is who
Wow,
they were
unbiased
going to go at
opinion.
15 if they were both there.
All right. Do we want to get a call in?
Yeah, we
We
want
do
to
not
get
have
some
a
calls in.
call so far.
Yeah. And
Okay.
like you
What
said,
was
they
sick.
didn't even have to move up to get him. That's the
Great
best part about
start.
it.
I have
Yeah,
some
you
other
look what the
things to
Bears
What
say.
was
gave
the
up.
ding
Like,
after?
I don't know if
So
you guys future would have took that one. deal, but I think it was like would you have offered 121 the same thing
QB
for
type.
something this year, and then a fourth next year as well?
I
Because the
mean,
Bears have like no middle round picks.
yeah. I mean, would you have rather done that for Fields or just wait on Mac Jones?
I would have rather stayed pat and took Jones. Sorry.
I'd do it. I would do it, but I'm fine with Mac.
I like the people that are really upset with the pick too. That's great. Those are my favorite people, being
The
like,
same people that complain about like not having a
give me
quarterback.
quarterback. Yeah, I think it's really
I would have
people.
moved up.
People
to
were
Fields, but
so
like I said, I'm not.
We need a
hating on
quarterback. Oh, not that quarterback.
yeah. So the Bears move up for Fields and take Fields. What he went at 13,
11.
11. So he goes at 11, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, Belichick is such an idiot. Fire this man. He's a terrible." Before he even made a pick, people were canceling him and being like, "This guy." So it just shows you the preconceived notions of what people want to do.
Yeah.
Cancel Belichick.
And now Fields is gonna rot in Chicago.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a Bears quarterback, right? Like,
Maybe I'm
No
just
offense,
biased.
Jake.
Maybe I'm just biased because Trubisky panned out so well. But
you know what
Trubisky
I can
wasn't
put?
that bad.
I can put confidence in
Well, it's all in
is
Chicago.
the Bears getting a quarterback because they are so stellar at developing quarterbacks, and one coming out of Ohio State. Those always seem
Don't
to
scout
work
the
out.
helmet.
So between the two people, I say that like we didn't just draft an Alabama quarterback, but again, we get to clown other teams, not ourselves.
I mean, like this is the second time they trade up for quarterback recently. So I mean, if this doesn't work,
Yeah, true.
you should lose like all faith in Chicago for like the rest
Oh,
of your days.
Ryan Pace probably should have already gotten the axe, but if this doesn't work out, then
Well,
You might need to-
it guarantees them at least 2 more years in Chicago because you can't just you're
Yep.
not going to be able to fire them after 1 year, and that's probably why they did this. Ultimately, they're like they got to wait
Save
3
your
more
job.
years to save your job. Yeah.
Yep. Another thing I really liked about Mac too that I had written down. He is if you're gonna say like the underdog of quarterbacks, that's Mac Jones. He is one of the more like overhated people when it comes to the quarterback position in this draft. People, the Bama thing kind of follows him. The fact that he played on a really good team is somehow a knock on him. So all of that, right? And so it's an opportunity to prove people wrong, which kind of makes it even more fun to be able to root for him and have him be your quarterback. Is that you get to play the underdog card and have side of an underdog quarterback on leading your team.
Right. I mean, and it just makes you root for him more, right? Like it's just
Right.
like obviously want your quarterback to be successful no matter what, but the storyline is also nice. That if he does do well, he's proven a ton of people wrong, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
that
Best
could be
QB
it could be
taken
the
by an
either
AFC East team today.
it could be either way with him or Cam. Like if either of them prove someone wrong, it makes a nice story. So
We have an unbelievable quarterback room. I mean, you know how quickly Stidham is going to be forgotten about?
Oh.
All the things we did, ourselves included, of being like, like future, like Stidham, like he's going to like prove people wrong. Done. He's done. That's it. His Patriots career is over. That's it for him. He's not even going to be able to compete in camp.
it's gonna be very interesting. And
So that's really funny to watch,
can't wait.
and watch how people flip on Stidham and love with him they got. Well, times 10 for Mac Jones because he's a first round pick.
You guys want to talk about day 2 a little bit?
We do have a caller named Matt.
Oh,
That's definitely my roommate,
I
Matt.
should put that post up. I'll
you
put it
guys-
on
Definitely my
the
roommate.
story.
Want him in?
That could be scandalous. I don't know if we take it.
No, just take it.
just take it.
Admit.
All right.
Give him 1 moment.
All
You
right,
see their
Matt.
face.
Oh, it's my roommate. Yep. All right. What's up?
All right, Grant. As a disgruntled Rams fan, not getting a pick in the first round, get to be a part of somebody else's, I guess, first round picks. What do you think the next rounds are going to hold for the Patriots? What do you think they're looking for?
I think quarterback was not the first thing I thought they were looking for. So I don't know what's next. Linebacker, wide
Corner?
receiver, corner, anything.
Corner could
Tackle.
It's got to be a second round DB, right?
I feel like taking a quarterback just makes everything else kind of
Second-round
coast.
DB. It's the second round DB all over again. Here it comes. Second round
Yep.
DB. I didn't even think of that.
Well, that was my question. So
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate
you're
it.
also loud, so I can hear you through the wall, bud.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. You're right next door. So
Thank you, Matt, for the
All right.
call.
Oh wait, I have a question for
Thank
Matt.
you.
I have a question for Matt.
I have an answer.
Do you participate in the milk chugging league? And if so,
Absolutely.
what are your thoughts on that?
I love it. Every second of it.
it's the greatest thing in the world.
It's the greatest thing in the world.
I'd love to see Grant down a gallon of milk one.
Couldn't
one-
do it.
one
That's
day.
not That's not me.
I don't think Grant could down a half gallon of milk. See
Yeah, I couldn't. All right. Thanks,
All right.
Matt.
Thank you,
you,
Matt.
buddy.
If you could do me a favor and
Jake.
close. There you go. It works.
Jake, are we getting Tylen Wallace tomorrow?
Anyone else watching is welcome to call as well. Use the phone.
Yeah.
Use
Yes.
your phone or a computer, preferably a computer, but either should work. If you're having problems, tell me in the comments or DM me. I can help you out. We do
Grant,
it- and
all right,
as I say
you
that, we
got
have
to get
another
another
caller.
one of your roommates to call too.
As I say that, we have another caller named Dylan,
Oh, Jake's gone.
and we
Oh,
lost
Jake just popped out. All right.
That's fine. Bring in Dylan.
Welcome, Dylan.
All right, bring him in.
Welcome to the pod, Dylan.
What's good?
Dylan, is that you?
You're live.
We can. You are live. We
Maybe
can't hear you.
you might be alive. You might be dead. Who knows?
Hello?
Hello. We can hear you.
You got me?
Yes. We
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
How you guys doing tonight? Because let me tell you, I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely having a lot of fun.
The reaction's
Because
great.
Justin Fields is not
Yeah.
a Patriot.
That was a fun draft.
If I'm good. If I'm being honest, guys, like, you know, I saw Fields falling. I was really hoping for him.
What do you think about the Mac Jones pick instead?
So, this is the thing about the Mac Jones pick that I really love. What I love about Mac Jones that I think people don't realize is that you think about Mac Jones and like one of the arguments I hear is like they say like, oh, you know, like his top competition that he played against, you know, and they find all these knocks on him. But what I think is he's going to a top team. You know, he's going to the Patriots, who have just signed a lot of offensive weapons. They've signed a lot of defensive help, and you know, in my opinion, I don't mind allowing him to sit and wait, you know, because they signed a lot of these guys to year-long extensions. So, in my opinion, I think this was Belichick's plan all along. And, you know, Belichick believes in them. I know some fans aren't happy, but to me, this is like the best option available. And
Great.
I
Going
was
to a
really
great
glad
situation.
that they got the pick. I was a little afraid they were going to trade down. I know there was the fear that they were going to try and fill the gap between 46 and I think
yeah.
pick 90,
Yeah.
whatever it was, which I still think they're going to try and do. And, you know, I still think Gilmore is an option for trading, so I'm really excited for day 2. But so far, I'm really happy. As far as I'm concerned, this is an A+ pick.
Yeah,
I
that's
totally
exactly what
agree.
I was saying. Yeah.
Agree
I
as well.
mean, you can fill the gap in many other ways, and hitting on Mac Jones was priority number one, I think, and now you can build upon that piece, right? You've got your foundational piece that you can work on and put weapons around him that he would like to have in place.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you think about Cam Newton too. I mean, Cam Newton, we all know how we all feel about him. He's just our bridge for us. But I think he's a good bridge, and I think he can teach this kid a lot
Hmm.
that he's learned. He's an MVP for God's sake. So you get this kid, you get him to learn everything. He's going from, Nick Saban pro style offense with some great weapons, and he's going to another team with good weapons. And Belichick and McDaniels, I think are really gonna coach this kid up really well. So.
I agree. I'm very excited for this. Anything
Yeah,
else?
something that goes under the radar too, I think, is the safety blankets for rookie tight end.
Yeah.
Or not a rookie tight end, rookie quarterback. Sorry. Like if you have a safety blanket like Henry and Johnu, that's another added
Right, guys
piece.
underneath, across the middle, like they're going to
Mhm.
be a huge help for Mac Jones.
Tight ends are a rookie quarterback's best friend,
Exactly.
Yep.
especially in Madden. But we're not playing Madden. But yeah, definitely Jonnu, definitely Hunter Henry. Hopefully another year of Dalton Keene and Devin Asiasi can help him. Probably in a preseason. I wouldn't expect him to start week 1 unless Cam completely shits the bed. Which that wouldn't surprise me at all. But
Now
I
they have a
wouldn't
backup
expect him
plan.
to start. Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to start the season. But he can definitely, throughout the fall, like learn from those guys and take the job by the end of the year.
Absolutely. And I mean, currently they have 4 quarterbacks on the roster because you got Stidham, Newton,
Mhm.
now Jones, and they got the Delaga kid. So, I assume that kid is going to go. But even if, say, Newton goes down, gets hurt, I really think they'll probably put in Stidham if they plan to keep him because,
Probably.
Belichick is an old school guy. I don't think he's really going to want to start a prospect if he doesn't think he's ready.
Right.
And while I know one of the selling points for Jones is that he's probably one of the most NFL ready. Like he's not really raw. He's smart. He knows how to fit into tight windows. I still think you'd want to learn. You don't want to throw him into the fire in the middle of the
Absolutely.
season and everything. So I think we're gonna have to see, day one if he is the starter, or if Newton's the starter day one. Unless like all the quarterbacks get injured and they have no other option, I don't think he'll be starting until next year. But even then, I'm really psyched about next year and everything. And you know, it's really gonna be interesting for the second round because I really don't think this team has that many holes to fill now. I mean, you look
I
at it.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at it, QB was obviously the biggest need, which they just filled. Like the only other thing I can really think is wide receiver number 1, which honestly you don't need if you're really going to go with this 2 tight end set in this kind of running back committee. I really don't think this team needs a wide receiver number 1. I don't think that's what their offense is going for. And then maybe you can also look for getting some young defensive players at linebacker and also potentially replacing corner because Gilmore is probably on the trade block or maybe even Jackson is. So
Right.
Yeah,
it's gonna,
yeah.
it's
What
gonna
you
be
what
very
you what
interesting.
you said about that is there's no real pressing need as of right now. Like this team, I mean, as a biased Patriots fan, could go fairly far with the team they have now, but the you want to look at probably what they're going to do tomorrow and the next day is
Build the
corner,
future.
tackle, some depth
The
that you can
future.
use this year, and players that are going to be free agents next year like Isaiah Wynn, Trent Brown, Gilmore. You're going to
Exactly.
get depth for the
Sony
future.
Michelle, James White.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at running back tomorrow.
Yep.
That's a sneaky one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need replacements a running back, corner, even like maybe safety or linebacker, like Devin McCourty and Hightower both getting up there in age. You wouldn't be in a bad
Stay.
way to get some to help try and get some replacements there.
Nick
for
Bolton at
eventual
46.
future. So,
Calling it.
Yeah, there's a lot of names that did not go off the board today to watch for tomorrow.
Dylan,
So-
anything else?
No, I think that's it. I just wanted to kind of talk and everything. Last thing I'll just say is, I love what you guys do. Love the podcast. Love
Oh,
your
I
work on
appreciate
Instagram.
that.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Really appreciate
Keep it
that.
up, and please keep
Appreciate it.
communicating with the fans. It's one of my favorite parts about you guys. I get
Oh
to
my
talk
God.
to you.
Yeah,
We
no
get to
doubt.
converse. So, love it,
Thanks
guys.
for
Keep up
calling
the
in,
good
Dylan.
work.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
no problem, man.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for the call.
Appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
take
Yeah.
care.
Good night, guys.
You too.
Yep.
You
Have a
do.
good one. I like what he said about
About
the-
you being like a good fan page? Is that
No, I was gonna say I like what he said about the whole Cam might be the starter and that's gonna be okay because I think
Right.
it slows down the quarterback it slows down the urgency at quarterback because we have the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rush isn't exactly there to have that guy start day one. We have a team. We got a lot of contracts locked up. We got a lot of the big players: Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Judon, Johnu, all these guys. We don't have the clock is ticking, but it's not so accelerated like it was. Our initial rush was find the guy. Now that we did, we can sit through 9 games of Cam and feel way more comfortable than we would have sitting through 9 games of Cam if we had no one behind him other than Stidham.
Right. I 100% agree. I can deal with another season of Cam if we have the next guy in line. I've been saying that for a long time, and it happened. And so I am all for having Cam be the starter because we do have the future ready.
All right, we got some breaking news here from Bill Belichick's presser.
Cam's the quarterback?
Quote, Cam's our quarterback. Whatever time Jarrett or Mac are ready to challenge and compete, then we'll see how that goes.
We need like
Unless they bring Jimmy G in.
Like a swear a swear jar
Oh, Jesus.
that's like every time Bill has to say Cam is the quarterback. Because we're hitting like once a week, Bill being like, just so you know, Cam is still the
That's so
quarterback.
stupid.
Cam is still the quarterback.
I mean, if Cam sucks, again, you have to think about putting Mac in. But I mean, if he's not ready, then you cannot complain. And you don't want to.
Like Dylan said, I think Stidham comes in first.
Yes, Stidham. Throw in Stidham because Stidham, you don't really know what you have in him, and if he doesn't do well or you
We might know what we have instead.
if you happen to ruin him, it's not a big deal because you have your first round pick. So,
Listen,
I don't know if you guys heard.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Grant. Sorry.
It's kind of just if you're not an SEC quarterback, get out of this locker room. Actually, if you're not an SEC quarterback that played in Alabama, get out of this locker room.
Someone commented, worst nightmare is Jimmy G returns. I think that was actually Dylan who was just here. Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't need Jimmy G now. And if we got Jimmy G in, I just feel like that's probably a waste of time at this point.
That makes the Mac pick be like, what are we like? What is this?
Exactly. Like
Unless your goal is to get rid of Cam and have a player who's more reminiscent of Jones,
if you want to upgrade your
right?
bridge quarterback, fine, but you got to watch what you give up and. You see, if you just sign him as a free agent. We have a new caller named Emma and Mary.
Oh my God!
Mary.
Do you know
Okay.
them?
Yes, these are people I know.
Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna bring them in.
All right, let's do it. You can cut this out of the pod.
We'll see.
No.
What's up, y'all?
Emma and Mary, what's up?
What's
Hey
up?
guys, no, we have a serious, genuine question about
Okay.
the draft. Okay, Emma, ask the question.
You're gonna be like, how does it work? Who picks first?
How do they have the jerseys ready?
Yeah, that
Dude.
was.
Boy.
Thank
Good
you for
question.
asking a serious, genuine question.
No, we were watching and I was very
We
confused.
were so confused.
So the way jerseys work is there's like a name plate, right? So they have like
one.
and
They
just
them
sew
once
it.
they're picked.
We're actually
once the card and then they
They
just
had
sew
a
it on.
video during Surtain's pick that Surtain when Surtain got picked, it was pressed on right away.
Really? I didn't even
Yep.
know that.
Also, the dude that was at home, the Oregon guy, how did he have the hat? Did they just have all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so expensive. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I bet he can't afford it either.
Yeah.
Now that he's an NFL athlete, I'm sure the hats that he probably got sent were.
Yeah.
You got a comment saying they printed out. They literally show it on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
the
link
Surtain
you to a video of how they do the jerseys.
Also, Mary guessed it right before they said it.
So basically, I think I could have an employment at PRZ. I think that
Yeah.
Just coming for your head.
I'm just saying.
Assistant.
I said Mac Jones right before the pick came in. So
She really did.
basically,
Grant, I think you
Gotcha.
should take that offer.
Mary Kuiper over here.
Yeah.
All right.
anyway,
anything-
thanks for answering our question. We were
Thanks.
very concerned.
All
Yep.
right, no problem. See you later. All right.
What will we do without Grant's friends? Eh?
I think I'm out of friends.
I'm out of friends.
I
I
texted.
don't.
I promise I
did
don't know
text a
Dylan.
friend- I texted a friend and my brother. I don't think either even saw it, so it's fine. Do you want to stick around for one more caller? I don't have one yet, but we can wait for one more.
Yeah, I have some other things to say.
Yeah.
So, I've
So if anyone
always
else
got
wants to
things
call,
say.
remember the link's in the bio.
Call. Someone call.
Please, we're desperate.
Jake should just call in.
Right?
All right, we have a great troll move
Okay.
with the Dolphins. So if Mac Jones is sick and Tua continues on the trend of being awful, we are going to have some amazing bait to throw at them. I was already thinking about that. The
Boy, oh
AFC
boy.
East quarterback room is loaded when it comes to like young talent. I mean, we've got what's the average age group in the AFC
Oh,
East
it's got to be around
of the
like
quarterback, right? Like
24-ish,
we got
right?
Zach Wilson, who's like what 22, 23.
To a 24-ish.
Yeah, and then
Allen's like 24 probably.
4, 25. Yeah. So
Oh.
and then Mac is 22.
So
So
this is probably a joke name, but it says Spike King.
yeah, that's
I'd
if
imagine.
that would be the all time.
Yeah, right. If we actually got Spike King, that would be the dumbest thing ever.
Wait, now we have to accept it. This could
Alright.
be the most
Let's
unbelievable.
accept it. Here we
This
go.
could be.
Yeah. Let's see who it actually is.
Spike
I
King,
just
yeah?
joined as myself.
Oh.
Okay.
Super echoey. I was gonna. I
Thanks for that.
exited out, but
Oh,
I
Ethan.
really thought it was gonna be the camera, and I really thought that would have been funny, but it didn't work.
All right. Good prank. Good prank.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Yeah,
Ha
so
ha
good.
ha! Laugh at me.
We have 12 viewers, by the way, if you're wondering. But
That's not too bad to be honest. It's also 12:30 at night.
Yeah,
it
if
is
you're
12:30
still
at night.
awake, that's
we,
super
we were
weird.
like hovering around 30 for the most of it. Anything else?
I mean,
We better
got
hope
our guy.
Fields. We better hope Fields sucks.
Y'all gotta
Yeah,
check your
facts.
emails.
Not like again. People are gonna the hindsight bias on this is gonna make people think that we had both of them there and we just picked the other one.
Right.
Everyone's comparing them like it was an option. We may not have been comfortable giving up that picks, and I seriously wouldn't have been considering
Rightfully so, I
we already have the gap there. Let's not just elongate that gap and move up for a quarterback. All right, like that makes no sense.
If you think you can get a guy that you really, really like without trading up, instead of trading up for a guy you're not sure if you like, I don't see what the problem is.
Mason, if you're wondering how to call in, the link is if you're on a phone, the link is in the bio. Get the iOS app if you're on iPhone. If you don't, I'd recommend computer. But worst comes to worst, just you can use your browser on your iPhone.
Basically, the only other thing I had with
Or put
the
it in the
Mac
chat.
Jones
That's
pick
fine either.
is just shut up and be excited, okay? Finally, we have like maybe the most exciting draft pick in the history of this team,
Bill
right?
loves his SEC players,
Like,
SEC quarterbacks.
If a quarterback's not mobile, like Justin Fields, people don't want him because they're not exciting. They don't have the super elite upside or whatever you want to say. Like Jones has upside, and you can still be an elite passer, like throwing the football. Hell, look, what have we been dealing with Tom Brady the last 20 years for? And people
Did you
forget
see the
about
quote from Mac that said he loves Tom Brady's pocket mobility?
Yep.
that. Right.
The
Like,
quotes
and
from him are going to be
Pocket
unbelievable.
mobility is a big thing, and Jones has really good footwork in the pocket and in his throws. Like
His
you-
release is really nice.
Yes, you should be excited. I think he's going to be a really good player, and you should be hoping
I
for
mean,
that.
he dotted up
obviously.
Joe this year, Grant. Get that.
There's
Matt, not that you and Ethan or both of y'all, not that you haven't said this, but Jacob, I know you specifically. You and I have talked about like, how much we despise people who dislike Mac Jones because of where he played and the talent around him, which we think is like the worst.
No, if you can
The
throw,
worst argument against someone.
if you can throw a football, you'll be fine.
Right.
You'll
So
be fine.
I'm really excited because no matter where Mac Jones was going, I was going to be rooting for him simply for the fact that one, I really enjoyed watching him in college. He was one of the best football players to watch all year. And then two, just for the fact of people need to actually not in their head think that because Devontae Smith and Najee Harris and Jalen Waddle were on that team, his spiral wasn't tight and his accuracy wasn't great and his pocket mobility wasn't awesome.
And he
then
didn't
was
go
defeated and
against
wasn't a
all
national
SEC
champion.
team.
Yeah.
We do have a question. What do you guys think about the Dolphins' pick on Smith? I was really shocked by that. That's
Passing
actually
on Smith?
It's our buddy Dylan.
Passing on Smith, yeah, I mean, Smith's a reach at 7 or wherever
I
they
think
were,
at that
and
point it's
so
just
is
who you
Waddle.
had ranked higher at receiver. You
Yeah,
personally
Right,
could
I
have
don't-
had Smith ranked higher than Waddle or vice versa.
Which is
or
fine.
Chase
Right.
in it.
I'm not bothered. I wouldn't be bothered if I was a Dolphins fan.
Not trading up for Smith, that's a different question.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's one of those ones where you just outside of Jamar Chase, if that's your number one, you're kind of just saying like you're rolling the dice no matter what because you're not going wrong in either direction on the day of the pick, but it can certainly look really wrong in the future. So you better just hope you made the right pick. And I could see Waddle not living up to expectations, and I can very well see Smith not living up to expectations. So it kind of and maybe both do super well, but one will be
Now
better.
Smith has the extra.
And I think the fact that Smith is in Philly makes it a lot worse. for him.
And he's
Just
165 pounds. I hate to bring that up. But that's
hey,
gonna
you
be,
know, we're not in the
know.
bodybuilding business. We're in the football business.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's I love that point because like he doesn't look like he's not as jacked as like some of these other guys, but like as a quarterback you don't need to be. You need to have an arm and you need to be smart and accurate. Like that's you don't need like the muscle for that. Like it's as long as he can be a quarterback and like throw the ball well, he'll be fine. He doesn't need to be like this
Man, they
super
just
cam.
showed a throw of Jones right now on NFL Network, and it was him to Waddle in between like two defenders, and I was like,
Another question.
Yeah, but if that wasn't Waddle, he probably wouldn't have made that throw.
Right.
Yeah,
Mac
sorry, I
Jones'
forgot.
Waddle made the
Instagram
throw
bio
for him.
currently says New England Patriots.
Oh, so it's official.
It's official.
Wow. I was
He's
What was
not
that?
doing some Eli Manning.
I was worried for a second. We do have a question we kind of hit on, but it's like, do you think Jones will start week 1? If not, how many is Cam?
No, the
I think
odds-on
it's
bet would be no. He was not going to start week 1. I mean,
Right.
and Belichick just said he's our quarterback.
Right,
So.
and like Dylan said, like he's never gonna start like a rookie quarterback unless he has to. Like I really don't think he's gonna like he might maybe in some mop-up duty or maybe at
Unless
the end of the year.
Matt comes out and is just like the second coming in camp or something, like it would take unforeseeable, like Mac Jones level ceiling circumstances.
Right.
I don't think I
be-
could possibly sit through another mop-up roll of Mac Jones and he throws a pick six and we get the whole Jarrett Stidham. Ugh.
I have a funny feeling it'd be watch Stidham's gonna get more mop-up duty now because they don't want to put Mac Jones in that situation. Because he's not gonna start Stidham, that's for sure.
And then we're gonna have the civil war of like, well, why isn't Mac in for mop-up duty? Does that
Right.
mean Stidham is better? Do they like Stidham better? Oh my God, we can see where this is going in
like,
all directions.
I can see that now, and like I could just tell you right now, the difference between that is like you have a shiny new quarterback in the first round. Last year we had Jarrett Stidham in his second year, and you kind of had to know what you have in him. And even in mop-up duty, you didn't get like a great view of what he could do, but he had his chance to show you something, and he didn't show you much. We did another question from Mason, who said apparently was trying to call in, but it was not working. It is a where'd he go? But do you guys think Gilmore will be traded during the draft? Also, who would you rather have traded, JC or Gilmore?
I think the only way I would have seen any of them traded is on a day one trade. Unless like you wanna like trade up and you use that as a trade bait or you trade down. Like I wouldn't expect us to trade down and include Gilmore and or JC in that. I'd say if you want to move up from like 240, not I feel like that's too low, but if you want to move up like a significant amount, like 40 picks or something, like
well,
maybe
let's start
you
with
include one of those.
if you start with tomorrow, you want to move up from 46 to like 33.
Yeah.
You could put Gilmore in that to Jacksonville and be like, hey, instead of compensation, we'll get you Gilmore because they can afford it. So
Right. Another question is: do you think Damian Harris is poised to take over the starting role, or do you think you draft another running back in the second round and add a carousel of?
Damian Harris, Mac Jones played together, so
I think it's going to be a committee, but I still think he's going to get the majority of the snaps.
Probably.
Just like a LeGarrette Blunt did in 2016.
Right, and like I think Harris gets running back 1 and takes
Yeah.
the most snaps, like Ethan said, and Michelle is going to get some time, and they'll draft a guy. Like you have options because you have James White, J.J. Taylor, and you're probably going to draft someone too. So it's like you have a lot of options in that backfield, and so we'll see what happens.
Look at what Jacksonville just did. Even though they had a great bona fide RB1 in James Robinson, they still wanted that committee to go get, and they went and got.
It's a committee game now.
That's what it is. And unless you have Derrick Henry, which only one team can have, and you're really not in a position to not just have 3-4 running backs. And especially when you've got multiple players who are going to be free agents next year in James White and Sonny Michel, barring we don't pick up his fifth-year option, which I think probably is still up in the air depending on the draft.
Right.
Then, even if they redshirt him this year and they don't play and J.J. Taylor takes that like RB 4-5 role, then you're setting yourself up for the future. And that's what I think a lot of these next picks are going to be, is future picks. Maybe not for the now. Even Mac Jones, that wasn't a now pick. That was a future pick.
All right. Yeah.
I think we have the last pick tomorrow and one of the first, so that's going to be interesting.
How many? We have 46, right? I keep like second guess. I've done so many
What
mock
is it,
drafts
round 2 and 3
46 and
tomorrow?
96.
with trades that. All right,
Yeah,
so
so we have 2 picks tomorrow.
Dylan wished us a good night.
Good night, Dylan.
Night, Dylan. Thanks for calling in.
You want to do more questions, or we have like a couple more.
yeah, go for it. We'll
Uh,
do like a couple and then.
Yeah, go for it.
Who's gonna be our top 3 wide receivers this year? And I'll-
Bourne,
and-
Aguilar, and
Myers.
Nice.
Probably, yeah.
Even if we draft someone, I couldn't see them
And,
overtaking any of
yeah.
those 3.
Right. It is pretty deep.
Because
does
we'd have
Hunter-
to
does
beat out
Hunter-
Myers for the slot.
Does Hunter Henry count? Does James White count? Those could be.
I mean, yeah,
options
the
there.
receivers. I think the tight ends are gonna lead the team in receiving yards. At least one of them will. We could maybe we take a slot guy. I mean, unless they really like Myers could do it.
Elijah
They got.
Moore's
They
still
got.
on
They
the
and
board.
got to take a wide receiver at some point.
And maybe they view Gunnar Olszewski as eventually taking part as well. We'll
Lord.
see, but I don't
Maybe
know.
he plays wide receiver.
Maybe.
maybe.
He might. Maybe does he?
Quarterback.
Another question: do you think we guys take another QB? If so, where? And does
No.
that
No.
puts Stidham on the
UDFA.
Yeah.
UDFA, if anyone.
Maybe,
Akil
yeah.
Glass.
Ian Book.
I think it's yeah. I mean, there's really like one position outside. Well, I mean, like special teams like kicker,
Tight end.
where you're not taking multiple in a draft, and QB is one of them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Unless you're
I
the
can't imagine.
Washington football team. Which
Yeah,
is because of
for real.
RG3.
Right.
Which actually worked out really well for them.
It worked out perfectly for them. to be
Yeah.
honest.
So, you know what? Screw it. Mod at 46. I want all of them. I said that at the beginning. I want all of
Take
them.
like 5 quarterbacks. Expectations for Cam Newton next season.
There's a lot less pressure.
Better
There's a
runner
lot
than
less
thrower.
pressure. Like if he doesn't do well, it's like okay, it like that's not good, but like you might be closer to seeing your new quarterback.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so the good and the bad of Cam Newton's almost like a no-lose situation. If Cam sucks, we get to see what we have in Mac earlier. If Cam is really good, then we're really good.
right, like
And we have the guy in waiting.
And there's a question that adds to the same discussion. Do you think the Pats will go back to the Super Bowl next season? I doubt this season, but I mean, like, give it at least another year. I think the expectations for the team this year should be playoffs.
I'm getting really ahead of myself in saying this, but the way that it seems the NFL is working now is the teams that will be the most successful are teams that can capitalize when their quarterback is on their rookie deal. I mean, Mahomes is an amazing example of that, but look at around the league and the way teams are willing to, get or cash in while their quarterback's on their rookie deal. That's why I think the Chargers are going to be so good because they have a bona fide superstar in Justin Herbert. So while we have this good of a team,
Sorry, I got a funny comment.
I was like, what? Are you laughing at Justin Herbert being a superstar?
Sorry.
But yeah, while we have him on this rookie deal for the next 5 years, if we pick up his option, I think we're in a pretty golden spot to win another Super Bowl. I think that is finding a quarterback. Again, Matt could suck, but we're going to live in the reality that he doesn't. That is, we are on the best possible track to get back to the Super Bowl.
I gotta put you this comment. If Cam gets back to even 80% of his MVP form, could Mac Jones be traded like Jimmy Garoppolo?
Can
In
you
the
imagine?
first season?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No,
Just
that's-
it's simply
sorry.
for the fact that Cam's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
If
Cam
he gets
is on
back,
1 year.
if he gets back to 80% of his MVP stature, we're never going to be able to re-sign him because we're losing that bidding war 100%
Oh yeah.
of the
We're
time.
not paying.
Comp
we're not
pick.
paying him.
Yeah, we're just going to get the comp pick.
Chess, not checkers.
Yep, football.
Yep.
Just not football. That's my favorite of all time. Okay, so that's all we have for questions for the moment. If you guys want any final thoughts before we call it a night.
Sleep good tonight, Pats fans.
It's late. We got a big day tomorrow. I think day 2 is better than day 1. Call me crazy.
It might
I
be.
like the
There's more going
I like
on.
the
Good take, good
later
take.
days. It's more action. All
Yeah,
that.
Not
there's
as
So
dragged
way
on.
more
the
going
first
on.
round is it's showmanship and it's too much and there's too much Goodell in my face. I don't want any of that. So.
Yeah, more going on.
Oh my God! Can we talk about his chair?
Whose chair?
Stupid.
What was that? Why did he just put a fan in timeout
I
for
don't-
10 minutes?
I don't
That
know.
was. It's impossible for him to do anything. Like even when he tries to attempt something fun, it's still the
just
lamest
ruins
thing
it.
of all time. He stole money from charity with that chair, and then he brings the chair out and is like,
What the
great
fuck,
idea,
Ethan?
guys. Obviously, this isn't his idea. Someone came up with this, and they ran it by him. And the NFL was like, literally, the No Fun League was like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Like, we're gonna put the chair out there, and then we're gonna pick it.
We're gonna have people sit in it.
and then they're gonna sit in the chair while their team is picking.
And just
so
sit there and
during the
watch.
the most fun part there, they're gonna be isolated from their friend group, and they have to sit next to and near the most insufferable person on planet Earth. And then I guess for a brief moment they get to like dap up the pick their team just made. So I guess that makes it kind of worth
That's
it.
kind of cool.
But out of all of that, that is the weird. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
It was
They just
weird.
put someone in a
I hope they were
timeout.
fully vaccinated.
Oh my god, yeah. Were people vaccinated? I couldn't remember. I couldn't.
No, I couldn't tell.
Did
you
they
know?
mention it?
I don't think they mentioned
Were
it.
they tested and vaccinated? I don't remember.
I doubt it. I don't think they're. I don't think they were vaccinated.
All right, I'm
s-
headed out
Yeah.
right
So
now.
let's
but
Okay,
end it with
yeah.
this. Let's end it with
I,
this.
I have one thing. The Packers have drafted one offensive player in the first round since 2012, and that one player is Jordan Love.
Ethan, let's end it. Let's end it with this prediction. Let's give one prediction for the second round or second day.
I like Bolton.
I said Bolton earlier. I'm not going to take yours because that's your end of. I'm going to say Amari Rogers.
I'm just gonna say, I think it's gonna be a linebacker. I don't know who, just a linebacker.
Okay, so Nick Bolton.
All right.
Sure. Okay. I don't
So I'll
even know
say-
who that is. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't watch any college football.
I'll say Patriots trade back from 46.
They might.
All right,
Don't we have
word.
like 3 fourth-round picks? Why not use those to trade up and fill that gap?
Who knows? We'll see.
Whatever. Anyways,
Believe in Nike.
have a good night, everybody. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening and
Thank you,
watching.
everyone.
And we'll definitely do this again sometime. This was fun.
Maybe tomorrow night. All right, see you
Maybe.
guys.
Adios.
Adios.